Time doesn't control you, your attention does. Most people don't lose hours, they leak focus. You think you need more time, but what you really need is more discipline. This audiobook will teach you how to bend time in your favor by mastering your attention, your systems, and your structure. Because time expands for the focused and collapses for the distracted. If you master your focus, you master your future. Chapter 1. Stop chasing time, start commanding it. You've been told all your life that you don't have enough time. That's a lie. You don't lack time. You lack command. Every person on this planet wakes up with the same 24 hours. The successful and the struggling both receive the same gift. The difference isn't time. It's attention. The difference is control. The difference is command. Most people spend their days chasing time, trying to squeeze more hours into a day that was never designed to stretch. They say things like, "I wish I had more time," as if time were a person they could negotiate with. But time doesn't listen to excuses. Time doesn't bend for the unorganized. Time doesn't serve the distracted. The truth is simple: you don't find time, you command it. That's the first law of mastery. The myth of busy. Let's destroy the biggest myth first, the myth of being busy. Being busy doesn't mean you're progressing. It just means you're occupied. You can be busy every hour of the day and still move nowhere. Movement is not progress. Activity is not achievement. You can sprint in circles for 10 years and still end up in the same spot. Busy people live in reaction. Focused people live by intention. The busy worker checks notifications before sunrise, answers emails while eating breakfast, and finishes the day exhausted, with nothing meaningful accomplished. They mistake exhaustion for productivity. But fatigue doesn't equal progress. Only focus does. Every yes you give to distraction is a no to your goals. Every hour spent reacting is an hour stolen from your future. Busyness is the mask of fear. It's the disguise of avoidance. When you're constantly busy, you don't have to face what really matters: your priorities, your habits, your lack of focus. So stop saying you're busy. Stop glorifying chaos. Start measuring effectiveness, not effort. Ask yourself one question every day: did my actions today move me closer to my purpose? If the answer is no, then it doesn't matter how busy you were. You just spent another day chasing time instead of commanding it. Time is a mirror. Time doesn't judge you. It reflects you. Look at your calendar. Look at your routines. That's your reflection. Your time tells the truth about what you value. You can claim your family matters, your goals matter, your health matters, but if your time doesn't show it, it's just talk. Time reveals truth. Always. You don't manage time. You reveal what matters to you. You can't lie to the clock. If you scroll for hours but claim you're too busy to build your dream, time has already exposed your priorities. If you spend more time reacting to notifications than planning your growth, your attention has already chosen your direction. Your time is proof of your discipline. Your time is the scoreboard of your focus. So stop saying, "I don't have time." You have time, you just spend it on the wrong things. The truth is uncomfortable. You make time for what matters. Always. No exceptions. When you start treating your minutes like money, everything changes. You wouldn't throw your paycheck into the street, but you throw your attention away every day. You wouldn't waste $100 on nonsense, but you waste 100 minutes scrolling, complaining, and avoiding action. Stop treating your minutes like they're free. They're not. They're everything. Once spent, they never return. Commanding time. To command your time, you must first command yourself. The day doesn't start when the sun rises. It starts when you decide it starts. Commanding time begins with clarity. What is your mission today? What outcome must happen no matter what? That's how you begin to command your hours instead of letting them command you. Commanding time means saying no more often than you say yes. No to distractions. No to unnecessary obligations. No to anything that doesn't serve your mission. Every no is a declaration of focus. Every boundary is a weapon of mastery. You have to treat your time like territory, defend it relentlessly. Guard your morning. Protect your evening. Don't let random people, notifications, or emotions invade your schedule. Commanding time is not about doing more. It's about doing less of what doesn't matter. Focus beats frenzy. Depth beats speed. Quality beats quantity. Think like a general. Every general knows they can't fight every battle. They pick the ones that matter most. You're the general of your time. If you fight every battle, you lose the war. You don't need more tools, apps, or productivity hacks. You need command. You need to stop reacting and start deciding. Decide what matters. Decide when to act. Decide who gets your attention. The power of command. Commanding time isn't about control for control's sake. It's about freedom. When you command your time, you create space to think, to create, to live intentionally. Discipline doesn't trap you. It frees you. Structure doesn't restrict you. It protects you. When you command your time, you stop being a victim of urgency. You stop chasing the day. You start building it. That's how the disciplined bend time. They don't work more hours, they make their hours work for them. They turn minutes into momentum. They turn focus into power. Every time you say, "I'll do it later," you're handing your control to tomorrow. Every time you say, "I'll start when I feel ready," you're letting emotion own your schedule. You have a choice, right now, to command your day or to surrender it, to act with purpose or drift in reaction. That's the key. Real-world command. Look at elite performers, athletes, soldiers, creators, CEOs. They live by command, not convenience. Their schedules aren't suggestions, they're systems. A soldier doesn't wait for motivation to wake up. An athlete doesn't hope for focus, they schedule it. A builder doesn't pray for inspiration, they build the structure that creates it. They understand one law: discipline precedes freedom. If you want more freedom, you must first embrace structure. If you want more time, you must master your attention. Command your mornings. Protect your focus blocks. Treat each hour as sacred. That's how you multiply time. The command principle. You don't find time. You command it. Repeat that until it's burned into your mind. You don't find time. You command it. Because time isn't lost. It's mismanaged. It's not stolen. It's surrendered. You can keep chasing time, hoping for more hours, or you can take ownership, right now. Every time you choose focus over distraction, you bend time in your favor. Every time you execute instead of react, you expand what's possible inside your day. Time obeys those who lead it. You have to lead your time like you lead a team, with clarity, consistency, and command. So stop chasing time. Stop begging for more hours. Stand up and take control of what's already yours. You've taken the first step toward mastery. You've stopped chasing time. Now you understand that control begins with attention. You've learned that being busy isn't progress. You've seen that time reflects your priorities. You've realized that structure creates freedom. So here's your next step. If you want to control your future, you must control your focus. Because the next chapter isn't about time, it's about energy. It's about what truly drives your progress. You mastered your hours. Now let's master your mind. Chapter 2. Attention is your real currency. Your attention is the most valuable thing you own. Not your money. Not your time. Not your talent. Your attention. Because where your attention goes, your life follows. That's not poetry, that's physics. Every goal, every failure, every success you've ever had was born from one thing. Where you chose to look, what you chose to focus on, and what you allowed to distract you. Attention is the foundation of mastery. You lose it, you lose everything. You protect it, you can build anything. You've been taught to manage time. Wrong focus. You need to manage attention. Time is neutral. Attention is directional. Time passes whether you act or not, but attention decides what that time becomes. This is the invisible economy of the modern world. Whoever owns your attention owns your future. Energy before efficiency. Stop trying to be efficient before you learn how to be attentive. Stop trying to do more before you learn how to focus on less. Efficiency without focus is chaos in disguise. You can automate your day, build perfect systems, and still fail if your attention is scattered. Energy comes first. Attention fuels everything. Without attention, your energy leaks into 1,000 meaningless fragments. Think about it, your body goes where your eyes go. Your life moves where your attention flows. If your focus is fragmented, so is your progress. You can't build a masterpiece while checking your phone every 5 minutes. You can't train your mind to be sharp while feeding it junk information all day. Your energy is your capital. Attention is how you spend it. Every notification you check, every meaningless argument you engage in, every scroll session that turns minutes into hours, that's attention debt. You think you're relaxing, but you're paying with your future focus. You have to treat attention like a bank account. You make deposits with discipline. You make withdrawals with distraction. If you're constantly withdrawing, don't be surprised when your mind feels bankrupt. Guard your attention like it's gold, because it is. Attention spent is life spent. Repeat that. Attention spent is life spent. The attention economy trap. You're not fighting against laziness, you're fighting against billion-dollar systems designed to capture your mind. The world doesn't just want your money. It wants your focus. Every platform, every feed, every headline is engineered to hijack your attention. You are the product. Your focus is the profit. They use dopamine like currency. They trade in your impulses. Every tap, every click, every scroll, it's not harmless. It's habit formation. It's mental conditioning. The average person checks their phone over 2,000 times a day. That's not a lack of time. That's a lack of awareness. You're not out of hours. You're out of focus. Attention is your mental oxygen. And right now, most people are suffocating. If you don't consciously direct your attention, someone else will. If you don't guard your focus, you'll be used by those who understand how valuable it is. So start starving your distractions. They feed on your attention. Stop feeding them. Delete what doesn't serve you. Mute what doesn't inspire you. Distance yourself from noise. The less you consume, the more you can create. The less you react, the more you can lead. Every time you open your phone without purpose, ask yourself, who profits from this moment? Me or them? If the answer isn't you, you're losing the game. That's the trap, and now you see it. Now you can step out of it. Reclaiming focus. Reclaiming your focus isn't about deleting apps. It's about redesigning how you think. It's about remembering that attention is choice, and choice is power. You can train your focus the same way you train your muscles, through repetition and resistance. When you feel the pull to check your phone, resist it. When you want to switch tasks, stay with the one that matters. When your mind starts to wander, bring it back. That's how focus is built, not through motivation but through micro-discipline. Start with one rule: single task everything. When you work, work. When you rest, rest. When you eat, eat. Do one thing at a time with full presence. Half focus is half life. Every time you hold your attention in the present, you strengthen the muscle that separates achievers from the distracted majority. Attention is not something you have. It's something you command. And commanding attention means learning to live intentionally. That's the secret high performers know. They don't try to control everything, just their focus. Because if they can control that, everything else follows. Attention and identity. Your focus creates your identity. Whatever you give your attention to, you become more of. Focus on problems, you become a complainer. Focus on growth, you become a builder. Focus on gratitude, you become grounded. You are shaped by what you notice. You are molded by what you magnify. So choose carefully. Your attention is a vote for your future self. Every moment you're casting ballots for who you will become. When you focus on excuses, you strengthen weakness. When you focus on action, you strengthen power. When you focus on structure, you strengthen discipline. Attention builds identity. Identity drives behavior. Behavior builds destiny. That's the chain. That's the system. And it all starts with attention. Guardrails for focus. Set guardrails around your attention like it's sacred ground. No phone for the first hour of the morning. No multitasking during your deep work sessions. No reactive behavior before you act on your own agenda. Build a system that honors focus. Set a clear top 3 priorities each day. Block out time for deep, uninterrupted work. Schedule your distractions. Don't let them schedule you. This isn't about perfection. It's about protection. Protect your mental bandwidth like a soldier protects the mission. Your attention is not infinite. It's fragile. It's powerful. It's finite. And every moment you waste it, you're giving away a piece of your potential you'll never get back. The cost of lost attention. Every dream that dies doesn't die from lack of talent. It dies from divided focus. Every person who gives up didn't run out of time, they ran out of attention. Distraction kills silently. It doesn't destroy you in one day. It drains you slowly, moment by moment, until there's nothing left to give. So you must fight for your focus. You must protect it at all costs. Because when your attention is strong, everything else becomes simple. You don't need more motivation. You need fewer distractions. You don't need more time. You need more clarity. Attention is your compass. Guard it. Because attention spent is life spent. You've learned that focus is not optional. It's everything. You now understand that your attention is the real currency of your life, and that every distraction is theft. So the question becomes, how do you stop reacting to the world and start directing it? How do you take back control of what gets in your head before it destroys your discipline? To command your attention, you must master your reactions. You must stop feeding urgency and start feeding purpose. That's where we go next. Chapter 3. Kill the urgency addiction. You think you're being productive because you're always moving, always responding, always checking, always doing. But what you're really doing is reacting. And reaction is the death of direction. You've built an addiction to urgency. You crave the rush of doing. You confuse movement with momentum. You think fast means progress. It doesn't. The world has trained you to respond instantly. Messages, notifications, demands, distractions. You're not leading your day, you're following everyone else's. Urgency feels powerful because it gives you the illusion of control. But it's the opposite. Urgency is chaos disguised as importance. It tricks your brain into believing every task matters equally. And when everything feels urgent, nothing truly important gets done. The illusion of urgent tasks. Most of what you call urgent isn't. It's noise. It's emotional bait. The email that must be answered. The message that can't wait. The small tasks that scream for attention but deliver no real progress. Urgent tasks are like quicksand, they pull you in fast and keep you stuck. You finish one and another appears. You clear your inbox and it refills in minutes. You spend your whole day reacting, and when the sun sets, you realize you didn't move forward an inch. That's not productivity. That's panic disguised as purpose. Every time you respond to urgency, you strengthen the habit of reaction. And the more you react, the less you create. Creation requires calm. Focus requires stillness. But you can't access either when your brain is wired to chase urgency. Urgency is noise. Purpose is signal. You have to learn to hear the difference. You have to learn to say, this can wait. You have to learn to breathe before you act. You have to learn that silence doesn't mean failure, it means control. Because only the calm can command. The commander's mindset. There's a difference between soldiers who react and commanders who plan. Both move. Both act. But only one leads. A soldier responds to commands. A commander gives them. A soldier's mind is always reacting to orders, to movement, to noise. The commander steps back, observes, strategizes, decides, then moves. That's leadership, and it starts in your own mind. You have to become the commander of your day. You have to rise above the noise long enough to decide what truly matters. If you spend all your time responding, you'll never have time to create. If you spend all your energy chasing what's urgent, you'll never build what's important. Urgency addicts live in chaos. Commanders live in clarity. And clarity only comes from calm. Remember this, slow is smooth. Smooth is fast. It's not about speed, it's about precision. You can move slower and get further because you're moving with intention. You don't win by rushing. You win by aligning. When you act with purpose, every move compounds. When you act in panic, every move cancels itself. That's the difference between motion and mastery. The trap of instant response. Modern life glorifies immediacy. Everyone wants everything now. Fast feedback. Instant answers. Quick validation. But here's the truth, the faster you respond, the less you think. The less you think, the less you grow. And the less you grow, the more reactive you become. You become predictable, controlled, manipulated by urgency. You don't need to be fast, you need to be deliberate. You don't need to respond instantly, you need to respond intelligently. Pause before reacting. Reflect before replying. Plan before acting. That's where true speed comes from precision, not panic. Remember the repetition cue. Slow is smooth. Smooth is fast. A martial artist doesn't rush. A sniper doesn't flinch. A leader doesn't scramble. They move with purpose. They act with calm, because they know urgency kills clarity, and clarity wins wars. Escaping the urgency cycle. The urgency cycle starts small, a ping, a buzz, a notification. You respond. You get a quick hit of relief. That tiny moment of control tricks your brain. Feels like progress, but it's just reaction. Then another notification appears. Another request. Another task. Before you know it, you've spent the day in digital firefighting mode, putting out flames that never end. You have to break that cycle. You have to train yourself to tolerate unfinished tasks, unanswered messages, and delayed responses. That's the hardest part, learning that you don't owe the world instant access to your attention. You don't need to be reachable every minute. You need to be responsible for what truly matters. Your purpose doesn't live in your inbox. Your future doesn't depend on your notifications. Your focus is not a public service. Start reclaiming your response time. Check messages twice a day, not 20 times an hour. Schedule decision blocks instead of reacting to every demand. The more you delay reaction, the more you strengthen control. Urgency weakens you. Deliberation strengthens you. Slow is smooth. Smooth is fast. The calm advantage. Stillness isn't weakness, it's mastery. Calm people move faster because they move cleaner. When your mind is calm, your actions are sharp. When your mind is cluttered, every decision drags. Urgent minds rush and stumble. Calm minds flow and build. You've seen it before. The athlete who slows down time under pressure, the surgeon whose hands stay steady during chaos, the pilot who lands the plane while everyone else panics. They all have one thing in common: control of attention. They understand that calm multiplies speed. That reaction kills performance. That focus is stronger than frenzy. You need to train your calm the way others train chaos. Start by breathing before action. Create small pauses between stimulus and response. Every pause is a declaration of control. You're not reacting. You're responding with power. From urgent to important. When you kill the urgency addiction, you finally make space for importance. You stop living in reaction and start living by design. Urgency runs your life on other people's terms. Importance rebuilds your life on your own. When you stop reacting to the immediate, you can start creating the meaningful. When you stop chasing the urgent, you can finally focus on the important. Ask yourself daily, what's truly important right now? Not what's loud. Not what's flashing. What actually moves your mission forward? That's where your energy belongs. Because urgency steals. Importance builds. Urgency drains. Importance directs. Urgency scatters. Importance strengthens. Choose importance every time. Mastering your tempo. Mastery has a rhythm. It's steady. It's deliberate. It's intentional. The world screams for speed, but speed without rhythm is chaos. You set your tempo. You decide the pace. Don't let the world's noise rush your mission. Let your purpose dictate your speed. That's mastery. That's control. That's command. Because slow is smooth. Smooth is fast. You don't have to move quickly to move powerfully. You just have to move with purpose. You've learned to destroy the illusion of urgency. You've learned that reacting isn't leading, it's following. You've seen that calm creates clarity and clarity creates control. You've begun to shift from soldier to commander, from reaction to direction. Now it's time to structure that command. Because control isn't maintained by emotion, it's built through systems. You've learned to slow down. Now you'll learn how to build freedom through structure. Chapter 4. Time blocks build freedom. Freedom doesn't come from doing whatever you want. Freedom comes from doing what matters, on purpose, every day. You think structure limits you, but it's the opposite. Structure frees you. When you live without structure, you live in chaos. When you build structure, you build peace. Every person who achieves mastery, every athlete, every artist, every leader, understands this truth. Discipline creates space. Structure creates freedom. You don't rise by accident. You rise by design. Time blocking is that design. It's the system that turns chaos into rhythm. Systemize your focus. You can't control everything in your day, but you can control when and how you focus. That's what time blocking does. It gives every hour a job. Time blocking means you assign your attention with intention. You decide when to work, when to train, when to rest, when to think. It's not about micromanaging your life. It's about building a pattern strong enough to protect your purpose. The average person wakes up and reacts. The disciplined person wakes up and executes. When you block your time, you take command. You stop guessing. You stop drifting. You stop relying on willpower and start relying on system. Because systems succeed when emotions fail. When you feel lazy, your system pulls you forward. When you feel tired, your system gives you structure. When you feel lost, your system reminds you of direction. That's the secret of consistency, not motivation but design. So build your day like a builder builds a structure. One block at a time, each with a purpose. You don't find balance. You design it. You don't find focus. You schedule it. Structure is freedom. From chaos to rhythm. Look around. The most effective people on earth live by rhythm. Not emotion. Not impulse. Rhythm. Top athletes wake up at the same time, train at the same time, eat at the same time, sleep at the same time. It's not because they love monotony, it's because rhythm creates excellence. A musician doesn't create beauty by playing random notes. They follow timing, structure, and tempo, and that creates harmony. Your life works the same way. Without rhythm, you create noise. With rhythm, you create progress. Time blocking turns chaos into rhythm. It's how you stop being busy and start being intentional. Every block you design is a declaration of control. This hour is for deep work. This hour is for learning. This hour is for recovery. And when that hour ends, you move with clarity, no guilt, no rush, no confusion. That's the power of rhythm. Structure is freedom. The architecture of your day. Imagine your day as a building. Every hour is a brick. Every choice is cement. What you build determines what you stand on. Without a blueprint, you get a pile of broken materials. No form, no order. With a blueprint, you create strength and symmetry. Your blueprint is your time block schedule. Start simple. Block 2 to 3 hours for your most important work. No distractions. Block time for learning, reflection, and rest. Block time for movement, for energy renewal. Don't fill your schedule with everything. Fill it with what matters. The goal isn't to be busy. The goal is to be deliberate. Structure your day like it matters, because it does. Every block is a promise to yourself. Every block is a statement of discipline. The unstructured drift through the day. The structured dominate it. Example, the elite routine. Look at the best in any field. They live by pattern. A CEO starts their day with protected thinking time. No meetings, no noise, just planning and clarity. A professional athlete doesn't feel out when to train, it's locked in. Same time, same place, same focus. A writer doesn't wait for inspiration. They show up at the same hour, every day, and write until the block ends. Why? Because they know feelings can't be trusted. But structure can. They know chaos kills creativity. But routine feeds it. They know that to win consistently, you can't rely on how you feel. You rely on what you've built. They're not rigid, they're rhythmic. That's the difference between amateurs and masters. Amateurs react. Masters repeat. And repetition builds results. Structure isn't prison, it's precision. Structure is freedom. The myth of flexibility. The world worships flexibility. Go with the flow, they say. Stay adaptable. Yes, flexibility has value, but not when it becomes an excuse for inconsistency. Flow without direction is drift. You need structure first, flexibility second. Freedom without boundaries is chaos. You can only bend what's first been built. You can only adapt when there's a plan to adapt from. If you want to flow, build the riverbanks first. That's what structure does. It channels energy instead of wasting it. You don't need endless options, you need clarity. You don't need more flexibility, you need more focus. Discipline doesn't shrink your life. It expands it. Because every decision you automate through structure frees mental energy for what matters most. That's why the most creative minds protect their time with discipline. Because they know, structure is freedom. Building your blocks. Start today. Don't overcomplicate it. Choose one deep work block. 2 hours. No phone. No interruptions. Just focus. When that block ends, rest intentionally. Then return for another. This simple rhythm, work, rest, repeat, will outperform a chaotic 12-hour hustle every time. Because productivity isn't about doing more. It's about doing what matters better. As you grow, expand your structure. Stack your blocks. Morning deep work, midday movement, afternoon reflection. The goal isn't perfection. The goal is presence. You're building a rhythm of results. And that rhythm becomes your foundation. Once you master your schedule, you master your state. Once you master your state, you master your results. And it all starts with time blocks. Structure equals freedom. People fear structure because they think it means control. But control is what gives you power. And power is what gives you choice. When your days are structured, you have time to create, to rest, to live with intention. You don't react to the world, you build within it. Structure doesn't cage you. It releases you from the cage of distraction. It gives you freedom from chaos, not freedom for chaos. This is what high performers understand. The freer you want to be, the more disciplined you must become. You don't need to guess what to do. You've already decided. You just execute. Structure removes friction. It removes doubt. It removes waste. That's how freedom is built. Because structure is freedom. You've learned how to build rhythm. You've learned how to take control of your day through deliberate design. You've seen that structure doesn't confine you, it liberates you. You've built your foundation. Now it's time to strengthen your focus inside that structure. Because once your time is blocked, what you do inside those blocks determines everything. You've learned how to build the system. Now you'll learn how to use it to multiply your results. Chapter 5. The 3-hour rule of deep work. You don't need 10 hours. You need 3, fully alive, fully focused, fully present. That's the truth no one tells you. You're not losing because you don't have enough time. You're losing because you don't have enough depth. Most people spend their days scattered, half here, half there, half paying attention to everything and fully committed to nothing. They call it multitasking. But it's not productivity, it's self-sabotage. Your brain is not built for constant switching. Every time you shift focus, you burn energy, you lose clarity, you weaken attention. That's why you feel drained without doing anything real. The solution is not to work more. It's to work deeper. This is the rule. 3 hours of deep, undistracted work can outperform 10 hours of shallow movement. 1 deep hour is worth a distracted day. Peak focus windows. Your brain has natural rhythms, windows of high energy, high clarity, high focus. Most people waste those windows scrolling, chatting, reacting. Winners protect them. Peak focus doesn't last all day. It comes in waves, short, powerful bursts. Your goal isn't to stretch that window, it's to maximize it. 3 hours of deep focus, done daily, can change your entire life trajectory. Not 3 hours of random hustle, 3 hours of absolute presence. No phone, no notifications, no noise. Just you, your work, and the clock locked in. You don't chase stimulation, you chase stillness. You don't chase dopamine, you chase depth. Those 3 hours become your advantage. They become your secret weapon. Because while others waste their prime energy reacting, you spend yours creating. The disciplined few use their peak hours to build the future. The distracted majority use them to consume someone else's. Remember, 1 deep hour is worth a distracted day. The science of depth. Your brain works like a muscle. When you go deep, truly deep, you enter what scientists call a flow state. In that state, distraction disappears. Self-doubt fades. Time distorts. Neuroscience shows that deep work activates the prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for reasoning, focus, and decision-making. That's where mastery is built. Every minute you spend in deep work rewires your brain to concentrate longer and resist distraction faster. It's mental strength training. And just like physical training, results compound. 1 session of focus feels good. 10 sessions change your brain. Hundreds transform your identity. That's the compounding effect of depth. It's like interest, small daily deposits that grow into unstoppable momentum. Shallow work drains you. Deep work grows you. When you scatter your energy across 10 things, you gain nothing. When you channel it into 1, you gain everything. This is why the best in any field, writers, athletes, CEOs, build their day around deep work. Not meetings, not emails, not chatter. Just focus, just intensity, just presence. Because they know, 1 deep hour is worth a distracted day. The ritual of depth. You don't stumble into deep work. You prepare for it. Every deep session starts before you begin. It begins with environment, mindset, and ritual. Shut the door. Silence your phone. Clear your space. Train your brain to recognize that when you sit down, it's time to focus. No debates. No hesitation. Just execution. Some call it boring. The greats call it freedom. Because the mind craves routine. And the deeper you go, the quieter it gets. At first, you'll resist. Your brain will crave stimulation. You'll want to check something, reply to something, escape something. But that resistance is the entry fee to mastery. Every time you resist distraction, you strengthen focus. Every time you stay in the task, you extend your attention span. Every time you finish a deep session, you build proof that you are in control. You don't need motivation, you need a ritual. You don't need to feel ready, you need to start. Because one deep hour is worth a distracted day. The 3-hour system. Here's how you build your daily 3-hour rule. Step 1. Identify your peak window. When do you think best? Morning? Afternoon? Night? Guard that time like your life depends on it, because it does. Step 2. Eliminate all noise. One tap. One goal. One task. The more friction you remove, the deeper you'll go. Step 3. Work in 90-minute sprints. The brain sustains deep concentration best in 60 to 90-minute waves. Push deep, take a short reset, and dive again. Step 4. Track depth, not hours. Don't ask, how long did I work? Ask, how long was I fully present? It's not about time spent, it's about time owned. If you can stack 3 deep hours a day, consistently, relentlessly, you'll do more in 1 week than most do in 1 month. Not because you're faster, but because you're focused. Not because you're smarter, but because you're still. Distraction is your enemy. Depth is your superpower. Real-world mastery. The highest performers on earth don't multitask. They monomaniacally focus. Writers like Stephen King write every day at the same time. No interruptions, no excuses. They don't chase inspiration. They command it through discipline. Athletes like Kobe Bryant train the same moves for hours. Not hundreds of drills. A few done deeply, relentlessly. He once said, "Why practice 1,000 things once when I can master one thing 1,000 times?" That's deep work. Repetition with attention. Steve Jobs was famous for removing everything unnecessary, from design, from meetings, from his calendar, to focus only on what mattered. That's deep work. Eliminating noise to protect creation. The formula doesn't change. 3 hours. Total immersion. No distraction. 1 deep hour is worth a distracted day. The hidden reward. Deep work isn't just about productivity, it's about peace. It's about the stillness that comes when you stop chasing and start building. When you're fully absorbed, anxiety fades. You stop comparing. You stop scrolling. You stop waiting. You enter a state of clarity most people never experience. That clarity is priceless. That's the state where ideas form, mastery develops, and purpose sharpens. You don't just do better work. You become a better version of yourself. Focused, calm, certain. Deep work teaches you the truth. You don't need more time. You need more attention. You don't need a bigger schedule. You need a deeper presence. That's how you reclaim your life. That's how you master your time. Because 1 deep hour is worth a distracted day. Final words. If you want to change your life, stop chasing hours and start mastering attention. Don't ask, how long did I work? Ask, how deep did I go? Stop filling your day with shallow tasks that make you look busy but leave you empty. Start filling it with moments that matter, 3 hours that move the needle, build the dream, sharpen the mind. This is the truth of mastery. Depth beats duration. Focus beats frenzy. Presence beats motion. Every day gives you 24 hours, but only 3 truly count. Protect them like your future depends on it, because it does. The shallow will always be busy. The focused will always win. You know what to do. 3 hours. No distraction. Total presence. Start today. Because 1 deep hour is worth a distracted day. You don't need more hours. You need more ownership. You've learned that time is not your enemy, distraction is. You've learned that structure doesn't trap you, it frees you. You've learned that deep focus, not long hours, builds the life you want. Every choice you make with your attention is a vote for the future you desire, or the one you fear. Time doesn't disappear. You trade it. The question is, what are you trading it for? You have 24 hours like everyone else, but only a few truly count. Command those hours. Guard them. Build with them. Because your life will always expand or shrink to the level of your focus. The clock is ticking. not against you but for you if you lead it. Stop chasing time. Start commanding it. Right now. You don't find time. You command it.